Archspire. Have you heard of said metal band?
I know Arch Enemy. Does that look anything like Arch Enemy?
No. They consider their genre brutal technical death metal, and they're hailing from Vancouver, British Columbia. So,
I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to Canada, but I don't know. I just can't associate, that country of nice, mellow, virgin forest and waterfalls and oil sands. I don't know. Just, like brutal death metal just doesn't seem like it should be coming from Canada.
But if you go to Montreal, there's just a crazy amount of drugs and prostitution. So
and hockey fights. So yeah, I guess a country that's cornered the market on hockey. They know about violence.
There's plenty of brutality in hockey for metal to come from it.
Yeah, I mean it's a short step from the brutality of hockey to the brutality of the mosh pit. Yeah, I guess I can now that I think it through.
Yeah, the blood flows no matter what.
So we are all of us nerds here, very excited that Shark Week is coming up. That's what we've been talking a little bit with Chuckles the Clown. Any other shark education you can give us this evening before we wrap things up?
Well, I do have if you guys want to hear it, top 10 best shark movies and top 10 worst shark movies.
Well, I know what the best one better be.
And I know what the worst one is.
And I've remodeled some of these to my pleasure because we all know that these guys that make these lists are idiots.
Yeah.
And I took some of this stuff off there and put my takes on them.
Well, just give us the Chuckles top. Yeah,
all right, I'll
bottom.
give you the top. We'll start from the bottom, of course. Number 10, Megalodon. This is the best sharks out there.
Right.
Megalodon. Number 9, Shark Night. Really cool. Number 8, Sand Shark, sci-fi exclusive. Number 7, Two-Headed Shark, Brooke Hogan, May I Say More? That was awesomeness. Now, this one's going to get you guys to boo and swear at me. Sharktopus versus the ever-so-popular Terracuda.
Oh, no.
That one was awesome. That was an awesome movie. Dinosaurs and Sharktopuses attacking each other.
I couldn't judge. I fell asleep in the first 5 minutes.
Now, of course, Sci-Fi just had a great idea a few years back, which is running this B-movie crap at the same time that Shark Week is going on. So if you're flipping through the channels, you may indeed flip on that movie and think you're watching the Discovery Channel.
And you're going to shit your pants when that thing happens and jump out of the water. Now, number 5, Sharktopus. I liked it. Number 4, Jaws 2. Number 3, Deep Blue Sea.
That was good.
Number 2,
I forgot about Deep Blue Sea.
Red Water, which Red Water was the one with actually bull sharks attacking people, which is what Jaws is based off of, not the Great White. And number 1 all time, of course, is Jaws. That was my list. You guys can depict which ones they put on there. 10 worst, and these are pretty good. Jaws 3D. I mean, that was horrible.
That was the one in the aquarium.
That was really bad. Number 8, Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark. That was very bad.
You skipped over number 9.
Yeah, probably did. Oh, here's one for Mr. Jones. Ghost Shark. That one was, really bad. Open Water. That one was boring. Fell asleep during that. Shark versus Crocosaurus. Bad. Shark Attack 2, not that good. There was another shark in here. I can't read my writing. Sharknado 2, why did you make a second one and now they're going to make a third?
They're going to keep that going. They're trying to turn that into a franchise.
Sharknado 1, which that was bad, so they had to make a second one to make it even worse. And the number 1 worst shark movie for me, and I remember blanking this movie out in my head because I didn't know that they made it, Jaws 4, Revenge of Jaws.
Oh.
When a shark can remember what you did to its mother and is coming back to kill you, there is something wrong with that movie, especially when no one flipping dies in it. It's a Jaws movie.
I made sure not to watch it. Are you literally telling me nobody dies in a Jaws
There's
movie?
one guy that gets pulled off the boat and they don't show any of it.
But it was in the beginning,
and the rest of it's like the shark's about to get him, and then it doesn't. They literally used Shark Weekly footage, I think, probably from this, and plugged it in here whenever the shark was going to get the person, and then they went out to someone swimming in the water.
All right, quick question. On one of your other listings, Sharktopus.
Yes.
Is that an octopus with teeth, or is that a shark with tentacles?
It's a shark with tentacles.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I don't know why, just because I believe all the people that support the 420 will agree with me. That's a good movie.
Well, guys, I was just informed of a movie coming up that is so bad it will suck, be number one on your list before they're even done making it.
Awesome.
It's called Air Shark.
Oh yeah.
Flying great whites being controlled, weaponized, being controlled by zombie Nazis.
I will have to watch this.
Who are you kidding? He's gonna love it.
Yes.
And I'm pointing at
Well,
Chuckles.
It's going to be number one. I'm not sure on which list for him, but I know for me, this
I'm
sucks.
gonna have to watch that pile of crap 10
especially-
times.
Thank you,
Especially
whoever gave me that idea.
God.
Thank you. Now,
Especially if the
Why?
zombie Nazis are going to be riding the sharks.
that'll be
Aw,
awesome.
man.
That deep water, open water one you talked about, I remember that was trying to do like kind of had like a psychological aspect to it, but it pretty much just was people floating in a pool.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great. There's nothing better than watching Samuel Jackson get nailed by that shark out of nowhere, pulling him into the water. That was a good movie. Just for you folks out there that did not like Sharktopus, and, like many things,
Multiple Sharktopuses
they
that
are
out
making a third one, Sharktopus versus Whale Wolf.
Oh no!
This
there.
is no
Whale
joke.
wolf?
You heard it
So
here
is
first,
this a
folks.
werewolf
Yep.
whale?
This is coming out July 19th on the Sci-Fi Channel. Be ready for some great, horrible movie right there.
And you know, the best part of those movies on Sci-Fi specifically is that, and they did the same thing with the Sasquatch craze. You can binge watch these. They'll play like
Yeah.
6 of these movies in a row on Sci-Fi.
And they'll play the same movie every single night for a month.
Or they'll do that. They'll play it, and then they'll play it like a few times after. So you fall asleep watching it, and you wake up a few hours later, and it's still
right back
playing
where you
because it's
started.
playing again.
Now, my only other question is, now do they replay the same commercials with the same movie?
Usually.
Now, see, I was looking forward to this. I'll give you guys this. Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus had Debbie Gibson in it. And I thought she was going to be in there a lot longer than what
That
she
one I
was.
saw.
But she wasn't. She was eaten. Now, a little fact for you guys out there. I had met her at Framingham. She's still gorgeous. And I was half tempted to go up with my movie and have her autograph it. And as I went up there, I noticed she was, what's the word I'm thinking of? Promoting other stuff that is of the fetish nature
She
out
had
in the
Triple
opening.
X photos out
So
there, folks.
I'm sitting there and I'm getting ready to give this to her.
Debbie
like,
Gibson's doing Triple X.
I don't know what it is, but it was very provocative, and she was
Lots of leather.
promoting this. And I went to, I was thinking, should I get my autograph? But here I am, this clown, sitting next to this dirty old woman. This is too cliche going on here. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Should have
So
had
I
her
walked
autograph
away.
your big red nose.
Right. Well, keep in mind too that she may look gorgeous with some paint slapped on her, but this is a dried up old has been.
Oh, no. Even
No?
without the paint on her, she is still gorgeous.
Oh,
And
they've
we caught
lubricated her too, eh?
We caught her in the morning. Unless she's tattooing that stuff on her face.
Huh.
I mean,
Hey, Botox is amazing, man.
I don't care if it's Botox or not. When she's in that grave, I'm digging her up and having fun with her. That's all it comes down to.
That's when everything's going to start sagging and bursting and pussing.
What's the difference between that and some girl I'm doing in West Warwick?
True, true. Isn't that kind of every teenage girl?
Probably.
So before we wrap things up for the night, what can folks, and it's, we have a very unique situation here at Rhode Island Free Radio, is that we have folks that listen to Rhode Island Free Radio and enjoy it, but we also let everybody have access to the podcast. So we have people who specifically listen to Chuckles Crip, and they specifically listen to my show, and they specifically listen to each show individually, and then other people just listen to the station as a whole. So for anybody that's kind of getting acquainted with the Haunted Cabaret and Chuckles Crip for the first time, maybe this is their first time catching a live broadcast tonight, what can they expect and what's coming out for Chuckles Crypt and the Haunted Cabaret as we go into the kind of the peak season of broadcasting, and people go on vacation, they take a bunch of podcasts and they check them out?
Well, as far as the Haunted Cabaret, I would say you can expect business as usual, but for our new listeners, anybody who is going to tune into me based on this broadcast, you haven't heard anything yet on this show. I don't know, Chuckles, what would Demented be the best? I guess
Well,
the Haunted...
Psychotic.
and let's just say there's a reason why the Haunted Cabaret on Rhode Island Free Radio, obviously the podcast you can listen anytime, but there's a reason why on the playback and on the live streaming, the Haunted Cabaret is on a little later at night for good reason.
Yeah, basically what I discuss is I like to say all things horror. In other words, that could range from the latest terrorist attacks to the newest Godzilla or Jurassic Park movie. You will not... It's unique. It's a unique product that I'm pushing out here.
You discuss
Actually, one of my
eggs
other...
and vaginas.
Well, actually, one of my... What?
Remember the Walmart?
Listen, we're not going down that one again, all right?
I was just trying to show
You
how
piqued his
broad
eyes up
it
when you said
is.
eggs and vagina. It's like,
The
what?
woman with the Walmart that
They-
stole
yeah, they weren't-
$100 worth of content.
Yeah, they weren't... Oh, I thought you were talking about the Inhuman mutant eggs.
Well, those two. Apparently, we put those in the womb now.
Okay, but this just gives you a good idea of what you're in for. Should you... And Tony, what time are those... Is that replay?
I don't know.
That's a good time slot. That's right next to the restaurant. What do you want to eat? I don't know.
Kind of like when I ask my girlfriend, what do you want to have for supper? Where do you want to go? And she says, wherever.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you,
like
can, you can check the Haunted Cabaret weeknights, actually every night at 10:30 p.m., right after 13 Folds Radio, which is on at 9:30 for our cannabis lovers out there. And kind of right after you is one of my favorite shows on the station that we don't produce right here, and that is Hot Rodding Tonight, which is all things rockabilly, psychobilly. They put out a great program.
Nice. I'm just getting a call here from somebody wondering where I am.
Hate mail.
You think already?
It's quite possible.
You know what's disturbing is that I don't have a capsule description of my own show anymore. I used to have a really good one, a really good witty one, but the show has gone in directions that it's not a typical horror radio show anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, see, you can see, well, yeah, Tony and Chuck, you can see why I'm having trouble describing it. If I really think about it, one of my other friends called it the goofiness inside the horror. Someone else called it the horror inside the goofiness, and we do have nuclear explosions going off in our West Warwick neighborhood. They may be nuclear. I don't know about this. But let's just say that I'm willing to address topical concerns. For example, a couple of months ago, I addressed the very serious problem of bullying. Especially bullying among Japanese monsters. I pointed out how, Ghidorah the three-headed monster is always forced to go up against three monsters at once, Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra.
Which isn't fair.
Which isn't fair. I mean, if you want to talk about bullying, the hell with all this bullying of kids in schools. That's being dealt with. That's being talked about. Nobody talks about the bullying of Ghidorah the three-headed monster in Japanese giant monster movies.
And, of course, a few months ago, you went full-on Dan Padandi on us and gave our street address out on the air while calling out ISIS.
Only to, first of all...
No, let's not go there again.
That
They're
was
in Warwick
so
now.
Lovely and bold.
First of all, I did not call out ISIS. Second of all, I did not give our street address. If you remember, I gave out an address that should certain terrorist organizations wish to destroy said address, we will not be there. So, Tony, I think we can drop the fiction that I gave out our radio station's address to ISIS.
We're still alive, right?
We're still alive because I did not do any such thing.
Not after those explosions going off. They're trying to find us and zeroing in on us.
Well, they'll find Chuckles under the broadcasting table, not above it. I can tell you that
Duck
right
and
now.
cover, right? That's what I was taught in school.
Duck and cover, yes. That was for nuclear... Well, actually, we're going into a new Cold War with Russia now, so maybe duck and cover will come back, too.
Hey, I mean,
So-
we got to get the kids some exercise somehow.
Well, never
Just
mind.
tell them there's a PlayStation under there.
Well, never mind the kids. I'm thinking about the club just down the road in this very complex that has a fetish night.
That would
How
be a beautiful
about
fetish
a
night.
duck and cover fetish
Yeah,
night?
you could be the gimp.
No, because people are just going to show up as ducks and in bed covers. They're not going to know anything else about that. It's going to be a weird freaking fetish night.
Wow.
Ducks
Well,
and
some
covers.
people are too literal, so
true.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
there you have it. Ducks, fetishes, terrorists, Ghidorah the three-headed monster. If this appeals to you, tune in to the Haunted Cabaret. I think I've defined it, finally.
Yeah.
So what
All
about
things
Chuckles
odd.
Crypt and the Chuckles and Laugh show and your Con